Hello and welcome back for another Rip Snorton video about SIBO and the MMC, this time talking about hypoglycemia. I see this all the time with folks with SIBO. They want to do intermittent fasting. They want to just go down to 2 or 3 meals a day so that they can rev up their MMC and get rid of SIBO, but it makes them feel like crap. And they have hypoglycemic swings and they don't know what to do, and they feel like if they eat in the way that their body is telling them to, they're going to be doomed to have SIBO forever. Is that true? What do you do? And which of these two things do you prioritize? We'll talk about that in this video. First though, quick reminder, what the heck is hypoglycemia for those of you who might be new kids on the block? So, blood sugar works something like this. There's a Goldilocks zone, a sweet spot that we all want to be in as much of the time as we possibly can muster. So, we've got this line where your blood sugar would be too high, and that would be unhealthy in some way. That would be hyperglycemia, so think diabetes, for example. And then there's another imaginary line where anything below that line would be bad for you in a different way. That's hypoglycemia. And we want to spend most of our days humming along here somewhere in the middle. But like I mentioned earlier, people with diabetes or insulin resistance will spend a fair amount of their time going up into the higher part of this chart, and people with hypoglycemic tendencies, people whose blood sugar bottoms out and it gives them symptoms like brain fog, fatigue, headaches, they get hangry. These are what those damn Snickers bar commercials are geared towards. Oh, you're not acting like yourself. Here, have a Snickers. Side note, worst possible solution for your hypoglycemia is to eat a candy bar. But those are the people, when they have those symptoms, they are dipping down here into this hypoglycemic low blood sugar state, and it's making them feel like crap. So that's what hypoglycemia is. Now the question that comes up a lot is, which is more important? Stoking your MMC to get rid of the SIBO and clear the SIBO, or hypoglycemia? Now again, in case somebody is a new kid on the block here, the migrating motor complex, or the MMC, is basically the type of motility in the small intestine that brushes the bacteria out of the small intestine and down towards the colon, therefore getting rid of your SIBO, or at least helping you get rid of SIBO. So again, it feels like you're kind of at odds, right? If you're somebody who struggles with hypoglycemia like I used to, dealing with these hypoglycemic swings feels really craptacular, and you don't want to go there. But also, if you have SIBO and you're trying to treat it, and you've got Dr. Pimentel and this and that person on the internet telling you that you have to do intermittent fasting or you can't snack because of the MMC damage it'll do, you feel like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. So what the heck is a person to do in this situation? Now, I had proposed that these highs and lows will make you feel crappy, right? But another way to paint this picture is that they are inflammatory or unhealthy states for your body to be in. And for those of you who have been around my channel and my podcast for a while, you know that I take a very holistic view of SIBO. I don't think SIBO is all that special, honestly, you guys. I think that we just need to get back to creating a healthy human body, and then a healthy body is not a place where SIBO can lurk in the first place, or any other disease for that matter. So if you are constantly dipping into a high or low blood sugar state, and that is making you inflamed and making you feel bad, and it feels intrinsically unhealthy for you, I don't think this is going to help you with your SIBO. If you theoretically could fast or space out your meals and skip snacks and feel like absolute dog shit, but have a good MMC, I don't think you'd get rid of the SIBO still. So, if you're going to prioritize one or the other, I guess the real main point of this video is this. If you're going to prioritize one or the other, if you are a person who feels like crap when you skip snacks or skip meals, and you really do get these hypoglycemic swings, you've got to prioritize that. This is an inflammatory disease state for the body to be in, and I don't care what it does for your MMC, this is not going to help you with your health goals. Then there's the group of people who, it's the American way, right? We were taught for a lot of years in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, that eating 6 small meals a day stokes the metabolism, and it's good for your metabolism, and it's good for weight loss, and all of that garbage. If you have just been eating that way because you were told to do so, but truth be told, you could just switch back to 3 square meals a day and be perfectly fine with that, then you are exactly the person that the MMC no snacking conversation was meant for. The people who could switch to that template and go from 6 small meals a day to 3 normal meals a day with ease, those are the people that that message is great for. But again, the people who are struggling with hypoglycemia and they're going to feel like shit if they don't snack, these are the folks that are probably watching this video, and it's a really conflicted, icky place to be. So I'm telling you now, you have my blessing and encouragement to prioritize your blood sugar first so that you don't feel bad. And I assure you, you can heal from the SIBO, you can heal from the IBS, you can prime your MMC with other tools like prokinetics, which I've talked about a lot on this channel. By the way, do you want to know why I know this? I know from firsthand experience. So for those of you guys who know my story, I had pretty wicked IBS for a number of years when I was in grad school. Bloating, diarrhea, losing foods out of my diet left and right because I felt like I didn't tolerate anything. And looking back at my symptoms, I think had I done a SIBO test, I probably would have gotten that diagnosis. Now, again, the accuracy of those tests, I have videos on that already. But I think that I probably would have received the diagnosis of SIBO. So I think that I was very much in your guys' shoes when I had my IBS symptomology present. And I'll tell you what, nobody was talking about the MMC back in the heyday when I had IBS. Nobody was telling me that I had to skip meals and skip snacks or my MMC was doomed. And I was one of these people. If I didn't eat something every 3 hours or so, I felt like crap. I would get a dull headache that felt like my head was in a vice grip. And I just felt really like, and my brain didn't work, and I just felt really sluggish. But then I would eat something, and I would immediately feel better. So I was the person. I would eat breakfast, and then I would bring like a granola bar or some sort of trail mix or something, and I would have a mid-morning snack in between classes. Then we would have lunch. Then I would bring a yogurt or an apple with peanut butter or something, and I would have a mid-afternoon snack between classes. Then I would go home and have dinner. Then I would have some sort of a small snack before I got in bed, like half an hour before I got in bed. And if I didn't do that, if I forgot to pack my granola bar or I forgot to pack that yogurt or something, I felt like death warmed over. And I still healed my gut. I overcame what I believe to be present day SIBO, like what we are now calling SIBO. I believe that I overcame that, or at the bare minimum, I overcame IBS, not knowing what the MMC was, not knowing the role of the snacking and the meal spacing on the MMC. I healed despite that lack of knowledge. And I listened to my body. If I started feeling crappy, like I needed to eat, I would just eat. It's the ultimate intuitive eating, right? So I tell you from not only clinical experience, but also firsthand experience, if you're gonna pick one or the other, if you do struggle with hypoglycemia, this is the one to prioritize. Number one, you can tackle the motility in other ways. And honestly, when it comes to motility, there are much bigger fish to fry anyway. We just recorded a new episode of the podcast. It'll be dropping in about 2 weeks, I think, about the gut-brain axis, and then another one on the vagus nerve. So be sure to check out those new episodes. We do have episodes from season 1 on those topics as well. And if you search this channel, I also have videos about the gut-brain axis and the vagus nerve, motility, prokinetics, and the MMC. So you can keep learning in the meantime until those episodes come out. But that's all I got for today. So prioritize the blood sugar, guys. That's all I got. You know what, though? This is not the only area where people get stuck and confused trying to prioritize this stuff. It's really hard to figure out with all the noise and all the information on the internet, my channel included. It's just hard to figure out what matters to you versus somebody else and what you need to prioritize, number 1, number 2, number 3. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by this stuff and you don't know what to prioritize and you feel like there's a million options available to you, but you don't know how to pick one, check out FODMAP Freedom. This is what FODMAP Freedom is all about. I help you prioritize and whittle down your list and establish a hierarchy so you know, okay, this soup's important for me, this kind of important for me, this maybe I'll get to it, but it's probably not the biggest fish I have to fry. These things I could just forget about, chuck them over here, garbage bin of the mind. I'm just going to forget that I ever heard the word histamine because it's not relevant for me personally. That's what we're doing in FODMAP Freedom, not only with the course itself, but with the weekly Q&As and the support and the group community. So if you, like so many other people, are tearing your hair out, trying to figure out what direction to go, what supplement to take, what thing is more important than the other thing, check out FODMAP Freedom. I would love to see you in there and join you on the Q&As every Friday. Now, we enroll in February and August every year, so if you're watching this video fresh when it's first posted, then you can look at the August enrollment. Otherwise, you'll need to wait until February of the following year. But it's a 12-week intensive crash course in everything I think you need to heal your gut. We've had some wild success stories and testimonials, and I know that you could be one of the success stories too. I guarantee you will not regret joining FODMAP Freedom. And if you're wondering how I can make that guarantee, it's because FODMAP Freedom itself has a 100% money-back guarantee. So what have you got to lose? Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe, ring the bell, click the like button, and leave a comment down below with the videos that you would like to see me do next. Doing all of those really helps support the channel and support my efforts in making as many videos as possible for you guys. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.